Hey, it's Marilyn Devonish here from transformationstm.com, in this case /photo reading, and just want to share with you something that I am doing this week, which is a flash sale for the 2020 photo reading workshop. So that means if you are booking this week, so if you're watching this in real time, that means this week. So if you do booking this week, then you will be saving yourself up to £300. So the link that you can go to if you wanted to have a look at the direct page itself is bit.ly.com/PR flash sale. I've also put the link into the description of this video, the Thrivecart link. Actually, let me pull in the link for the blog that I've just written, which will give you a bit more context. So what I was saying in the blog is the next photo reading workshop is not for another 6 or 7 months. Now, as a workshop organizer, that's not particularly far away from my perspective. It's not that far. However, I know that people don't necessarily like to book that far in advance. So what I decided it will be a good idea to do, because when people book in advance, it helps me as the organizer, because that means I can sort out the venue, I can sign the contracts, I can start getting people to collaborate. So we choose a date that everyone who wants to attend can actually make the date. And I can also, in terms of my schedule, my diary, I can start planning around it. So it just makes my life a lot easier. However, I appreciate that's a long time. So the trade-off and the deal is you'll be booking 6 or 7 months in advance, but in return for that, you get yourself a really fabulous saving. And the way I've set it up on the Thrivecart page is you can either do that in full or you can do it over 2 payments. So you'll see the 2 options there when you go to the page. And in terms of one of the things about the photo reading, there is so much included in that offer, because of course, photo reading is all about the books initially, in terms of reading at 25,000 words per minute, being able to remember and recall what you have read, how to get through all types of written information more quickly, whether that's books, PDFs, ebooks, online documents, magazines, newspapers, you name it. Photo reading will lend itself beautifully to all of that. So that's in terms of just some of the benefits that you get. The knock-on effects, of course, I would say it's things like improving your creativity, heightening your intuition, switching on your critical thinking and decision-making skills. I think one of the really lovely side effects of it is the ability to remain calm, because step 1 of photo reading is all about having your eyes closed. It's about relaxing. It's about getting yourself into state. And it is about training your brain how to work more efficiently. So that's what it is. In terms of what is included, as well as the 3-day workshop, so in terms of the dates, there's no date, of course, yet. We'll collaborate with everyone who takes up this offer. But we do 3 p.m. till 7 p.m. on a Friday. There is the bonus HUNA, HUNA belief change session from 7 till 8 p.m. And then we do 9:30 to 6:30 on the Saturday and the Sunday. So those are the parameters that we're looking at. The workshop is going to be sometime between February and April next year. And in terms of what you get in addition to the whole workshop, I will be your coach, your host, your trainer, your teacher, your guide for those 3 days. You also get 150-page photo reading book, because that's the one everybody starts with on the first evening. So this was written by Dr. Paul Sheely, and that is everything you want to know about photo reading and so much more. So that's one of the things you get. There's also, nowadays people often get this as an MP3 download, but if you want the physical, and nowadays I ask people before the workshop, do you want the physical CD or do you want the MP3 download? But it's the Tips and Insights CD, where this is Dr. Paul Sheely sitting round the table with a group of photo reading instructors, and they're talking about tips and insights for the beginning photo reader. So that's kind of one of the things you also get. There is also the photo reading activator. This is a paraliminal. Now, if you've ever listen to a paraliminal. I love paraliminals. They are, I just say they're the easy way to change. So you've got one kind of set of things going on, one story in the left ear, a completely different story in the right ear, and they run at exactly the same time. Then there are pieces where they kind of come together and then they, you know, dovetail off again. So that is always super cool. So you get the paraliminal CD as well, and that is your activator CD to help you supercharge your, hang on, let me just move that a bit, help you supercharge your photo reading. You also get there's so much cool stuff, and there's more. It's like those infomercials. So you also get because you get the photo reading book. That's really kind of everything you want to know about photo reading. And then you get the photo reading quick reference guide playbook. So you have a representation of the whole photo reading whole mind system on the back. And then this one is beautifully done inside. It's a full color summary of everything, all of the absolute essentials. So if you ever want to just go, what was that again? Go to the book, and you'll just be able to kind of find the hints and the tips and the things that you want. And it's designed in this way with the color and the highlights and the bold and all of that stuff, because that is also the premise of photo reading in terms of how to work the material. And there's more. And one of the things you also get is the photo reading certificate. And this, I think, is really exciting. It's your lifetime refresher certificate. So your name will be there. It's not valid without the gold seal, so you get that once you've completed the training. But what the lifetime certificate means is that you can retake the photo reading workshop whenever you like, so to refresh your skills, as many times as you like, anywhere in the world, free of charge. You just cover the cost of being in the room. If somebody's running the photo reading training in their living room, it might be 50 quid. For someone like myself who has to hire a hotel, I have to charge just the cost of covering the cost of having you in the hotel, which is £200. If you need another set of the course materials, so the book, the playbook, and all the CDs, that's £250. But basically, you never ever have to pay to attend the photo reading workshop again. You just cover the cost of whatever they are charging you to be in the room. And so if you would like to kind of join next year, and this, just so you get a summary, this is everything that you get in the stack, as it were, in terms of what is included. So that's the photo reading playbook, that's the photo reading book, the tips and insights CD, the paraliminal, the photo reading certificate you can see there. That's also the gold seal. And there are a number of handouts that you get throughout the weekend as well that we are working with. So all of that is yours to take away. Because not everybody brings a proper notebook with them, I also supply, you know, the sketch pad, etc., just so we're all on the same page and everybody can work efficiently. So that is all included in the price. Now, normally it's £750. You're going to get up to £300 off if you're booking. Let me just give you a flavour also in terms of, you know, what people have said about it. And I've chosen this one because there's just tons I could show you. However, I don't know where people get the idea that it won't work for them. You know, all ages. Youngest delegate I've had on the workshop is 7 years old. That was a lovely Eve. She had her 8th birthday while she was on the photo reading workshop, actually. So we got her a cake and all of that sort of stuff. And the oldest has been into their 70s. And I didn't like to ask his age. I did have, for one of the workshops I was running in London many years ago, an ex-wing commander. And I'm pretty sure I think I heard him say he was 89, but I didn't like to ask. So, you know, age range, we have people from a number of different industries, accountants, lawyers, marketing executives, entrepreneurs, right through to crystal healers, coaches, trainers, management consultants, of course students as well, both post and, you know, pre-grad, undergrad. And this is from a team of rocket scientists that I worked with at Cranfield University. I went to Cranfield, their Shrivenham base, army base, and I did a bespoke photo reading workshop for them. And I remember when I arrived, because I go around the room, there's like 15 or so people there, and I'm, saying, so, what do you do in terms of your role, and what do you want to get out of photo reading? And when the first guy said he was a rocket scientist, I actually thought he was pulling my leg, and I thought he was joking. So I was like, oh, that's lovely, great. Went to the next person. He was a rocket scientist. And of the people in the room, I think it was 8 or 9 of them were rocket scientists. I'm not messing with you. So these people know how to study. These people know how to learn. These people know when something works. They're all about the detail as well. They're not cutting any corners. And this is, a summary of the feedback that they gave on their evaluation forms. Stimulating, valuable, highly recommended, professional, excellent, enlightening, fun, relaxing, motivating, time well spent. And one of the things that I just thought was so lovely, a lot of them said this should be given to all of our first year PhD students, because they recognize the power and the value of what we were doing, and not only how much time it would save the PhD students, but also how much stress it would release them from. So it was really incredible. And in terms of myself as a trainer, I've been having this discussion in one of the groups that I'm in, where somebody had said, well, it sounds like, what you're offering is kind of, fake. And somebody was saying, well, why don't you get some testimonials from, Learning Strategies and the company you trained with, and Paul Sheely, et cetera, et cetera. So this is a testimonial that I got from Lynette Ayres. Gosh, I don't know, 10 or so years ago. This is when I was just really starting out. And this is the honest truth. I used to send my evaluation, because you had to send your evaluation forms in every year to Learning Strategies, and you had to share a selection of the feedback that you got from your students. I was reading through my feedback, and it was always so incredible and fantastic and amazing. I used to water it down a bit and send the not quite so, I don't know, don't ask me why I used to. It was almost like a little bit embarrassing. It's like, oh my God, this, it really just felt weird to be going, Marilyn is amazing, Marilyn is fantastic, Marilyn is the best trainer I've ever met, Marilyn is superb, Marilyn, it just felt weird. So I used to kind of just not send those ones, even though I was sending the watered down versions. This is what Lynette said, if it's a little bit small on your screen or your device. She says, wow, Marilyn, I think you should laminate your report and hang it on your wall. What incredible comments, exclamation mark. And they don't surprise me one bit. You are and always have been a totally present instructor. You create such a fantastic and have such high energy. How can your participants not learn? And that is from Lynette Ayres. Any of you have studied photo reading, you would have met the gorgeous Lynette. She is the master trainer for Learning Strategies. And at the time I did my instructor training, Lynette had trained every single instructor in the world, bar about 7, which is Paul trained them in the early days. But Lynette would, if you're an instructor in Japan, she flies to Japan. If you're in America, she goes to whatever state you're in. If you're in England, she comes to England. So, she came to England to work with me. And so Lynette was absolutely just, fantastic. And that's what she kind of shared in terms of looking at the evaluation forms that I was sending into her every year. Now, I think this is one of my favorite quotes, because the guy was so deadpan about it. He came along, ignore the 20% off, that's just from an old promo. There's way more. It's probably something like 34% that you'll be getting if you're booking in the next 7 days. But he said, best personal development workshop, best personal development course I have ever attended, hands down. That was it. It's just like bang, slam, done, nothing more to say. And he didn't say anything else. It was like, okay, cool, that's lovely. And so if you would like to join us, the direct sales page is www.bit.ly/PR/sale. And for those of you who are joining me this week, if you're on my e-newsletter list, what I've also done, because I always do extra things for my e-newsletter subscribers, use the coupon code, because that gives you an extra 10% off the price on the Thrivecart page. So use the coupon code. Don't be emailing me going, oh, I just booked and I didn't see the code. I'm telling you, I sent you the e-newsletter several hours ago before I even launched this and, you know, started putting this on social media. So use the coupon code. That will give you an extra 10% off what's already on the Thrivecart page, which is already an incredible price. And so that will be it. It's up for the next 7 days. So there's a countdown timer on the Thrivecart page. And it's there on the screen as well, bit.ly.com/PR sale. So yeah, that is basically it. That's the deal. If you would like to join us. Also contact information generally, let me show you that as well. You know, Marilyn at transformationstm.com. It's Marilyn, Marilyn, trance, trance, as in hypnotic trance. So transformationstm.com, and formations is FORMATIONS, TM for trademark. So Marilyn at transformationstm.com is the email address. Website is transformationstm.com/photo-reading. You will not find the £300 saving on the website. That's the full price, £750. This is just if you're watching this and the offer has already expired, that's where you'll go for the main photo reading page. And my blog is marilyndevonish.com. I tend to be /Marilyn and Devonish on, you know, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Instagram is the only one it's different. It's a NeuroSuccess Coach, but that's how you find me. So if you are interested in joining me for 2020 and would like to save yourself an absolute bundle in return for booking early, so I can get my planning done and sort out. And one of the reasons the drivers is, you know, we got another new manager at the hotel, because the way it used to work before, I would speak to the hotel, I would book my dates, anything up to a year in advance, and they would just hold the dates for me, just kind of pencil me in, is fine. And then a couple of months before, I would then go back and say, hey, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And there's only been one time. I've been using that hotel since they started. I believe they opened in 2009, and I've been using the hotel since that time. I've only changed one date ever, and I didn't cancel it, I just moved it to another date. And the reason I can do that is because I can hold the dates, I can do that in advance, and I work around them. We've got another new manager that's just come in now, refusing to do that. And so the minute I kind of provisionally hold something, I've only got 3 weeks before I then have to sign the contract, which in my world is a little bit crazy. Because people often book at the very last minute, and so I can't tell them right now what's going to be happening in April 2020, much as that's how they want to play the game now. And I'm like, okay, well, I could just think, you know what, forget it, and I'll just have to take my chances and hope for the best nearer the time. Or I could, you know, do something a little bit different. But as I said at the start, if you're just joining me now, I appreciate that asking people to book, you know, 6-7 months in advance is a lot. Hence, my bit is I'll give you an amazing deal, and your bit is you'll agree to book several months in advance, and then that means you can plan around it as well. You know that you're going to be doing it. So yeah, that is it. Oh, hi Lisa. Hi Lisa Waddingham. Lisa says, see you in a few weeks. Absolutely. And if you do want to join sooner than that, there are, I think 3 places. I say 3, there are 4, but there's one person who's emailed me this week saying, oh, I really would like to come. I just got to check with work, see if I can get Friday afternoon off. So let's just say there are 3 places left. And I'm running that next month, the 20th to the 22nd of September, if you wanted to join us in real time. But if you are happy to wait, and what I've also done with this deal, even though it's ridiculously priced, let's just say 34%, because it's not a straight round number. What I've also done, you can pay in full, or I've set it up so that you can make 2 payments. I think that it's 2 payments of £260, I think it is. So you'd pay that at booking. So if you're booking today, you'd pay £260, and then in a month's time, it would take that final payment of £260. So you don't even have to do it all at once. You can spread the cost and the investment if you wanted to do that. So if you have any further questions or queries, also there's one thing, somebody who was, I'm in a group, it's very ironic. I'm in a group. The flagship person who uses this product is Tony Robbins. That's, you know, great, fine. They were also talking about Jack Canfield. And then somebody was saying to me, well, it all sounds a bit fake. And I had to laugh, because who do you think is on the back of the photo reading book endorsing the system? I don't know if you're gonna be able to read that, but the first one at the top is Jack Canfield. The second person is Anthony Robbins. And I really don't think that Jack Canfield and Tony Robbins throw their testimonials and endorsements around willy-nilly. I was actually trying to think today, I'm like, what have I seen Tony Robbins actively endorse? I'm not talking about his own stuff. Of course he promotes his own stuff. I'm like, how many things have I seen Tony's name on? And how many things have I seen Jack Canfield's name on, aside from Chicken Soup for the Soul? And I really couldn't think of very many. Well, I haven't thought of any yet. I'm sure somebody watching might go, oh, he endorses this. Nothing came to mind. Tony Robbins is saying this has helped countless numbers of people discover a faster, more efficient path to success through the photo reading system. No matter what you need to read, you can get it done in a third of the time. So that's Tony Robbins. For those of you who don't know him, one of his most famous books, Awaken the Giant Within and Unlimited Power. Jack Canfield said, if you read more slowly than you'd like, consider taking a course to increase not only your reading speed, but also how fast you absorb the information. The best resource I've found is the photo reading course created by Paul Sheely. So after them saying, oh, it sounds a bit fake, I thought, you know what, I'm going to make sure that I start putting this promo back into what I share with people, because I know these guys wouldn't risk their reputation on something that they didn't think was amazing. Oh, thank you. Lisa Waddingham says, wow, well worth the investment. I'm going for my free refresh. Cool. Yeah, so Lisa has taken the course before a few years ago, and she is coming back to refresh the training, along with the lovely Kay Westmoreland. Some of you have heard me talk about Kay. Some of you would have read Kay's blog, where she was in a plane crash 7 years prior to attending the photo reading workshop, and was told there was nothing they could do for her. And she'd been saying for all of those 7 years that I'd known her, oh, I really should do photo reading. I wonder if your photo reading would help. And this would go on. It was like, yes, I think photo reading would help you. Yes, I think you should come along. Yes, here are the dates for my next workshop. I'm never going to pressure people into coming. You ask me a question, I'll give you the information. We're done. And she finally came to photo reading, and we were there really late on the Sunday, not because I overran. Everybody was just so excited. We were there till just after 10 p.m. And Kay had a meeting with a client on the Monday. She sent me a message when she got home. She says, oh my God, Marilyn, I've just come back from my client meeting. And she said, I was back to my old self. I wasn't having to repeat everything the client said. I wasn't having to try and run it through my mind. I wasn't having to frantically try and write everything down. She says I was just my old self. A few weeks later, she was in a meeting with a colleague who's known her for many, many years, I believe longer than I have, a guy called Nick Haynes. Some of you might know him from his 5 Elements work, and the stuff he's doing now with I think he's doing stuff with alternatives. And they're in the middle of the meeting, and Nick looks at Kay and he says, Kay, what happened to you? You're back, in terms of her mind just being switched on. And then we got goosebumps now. And then a couple of months later, because she did some mastermind group coaching with me in terms of the photo reading after the workshop, and we're probably 3 or 4 months into it. And she says, Marilyn, I had tea with my mum this week. She looked at me out of the blue and says, Kay, what has happened to you? You're back. And this is someone who, very capable woman, you would never know there's anything wrong, but she knew she was never the same after that plane crash. And it was a really serious plane crash. Unfortunately, her partner was killed. She was minutes away from death, and it was like a Hollywood movie. She only recently told me all of the backstory. I knew that there was a doctor who saved her in the middle of a field. The bit I didn't know about was he was just walking into court to testify in a case, and he pulled out his mobile phone to switch it off. As he went to switch the phone off, it rang. he looked at the person ringing and thought, I better answer this. So he answers the phone. They explain a light aircraft has gone down in the middle of a field. We need you. We need your expertise. We need you now. So he then has to say to the clerk, I'm sorry, tell the judge, I apologize, I have to go. And he does the, the lung puncture right there in the middle of the field. It was dramatic stuff. It wasn't just, oh, I've hurt my ankle. And she'd said she's never the same after that in terms of her neurology, in terms of her brain, in terms of the way that she wanted to function as a human being. And so, to have that dramatic turnaround the very next day, we finished on the Sunday, she's on it and firing on all cylinders on the Monday. And a few weeks after the photo reading course, she was doing a presentation and platform skills with someone called Dr. Joanna Martin. And she's written, because in the back of your playbook, we do, you do your goals and intentions, etc. And she came across her playbook a few months after. She went, Marilyn, everything I've written down, I've achieved it. Because one of the things she wanted to do was be on Joey's stage and be eloquent and just speak. And I know for myself, photo reading was one of the things that absolutely transformed my ability to stand up and speak and present without the use of notes, to be able to remember and recall what I want to say. And that was quite a dramatic turnaround for me, because in my 20s, I was diagnosed with what was thought to be early onset Alzheimer's. And my doctor said there was nothing more he could do for me. So I really only did photo reading out of desperation, because I had nowhere else to turn. And I thought, I can't imagine living the rest of my life like this. This is just like a death sentence almost. Literally somebody will say something, it's in one ear and out the other, and I've got no idea what they said. And I'd read something 15 or 20 times before I got the grasp of it. And nowadays I'm in a technology group, and I am the person who is kind of renowned for getting a new piece of software or something, and we're like, within an hour I'm like, okay, I've done it, I've set it all up, it's running, it's working, I've done this, I've done that, I've implemented that, I've installed it there, and boom 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 boom. And that's nothing like what it was when I was diagnosed with the Alzheimer's stuff. So for me, photo reading was, when I say life-changing, when I say it was a game changer, I don't use those words lightly. I'm not saying it in terms of marketing hype. That is what it did for me. That is what it did for my life. And that is why when I was like, whoa, imagine working with people who haven't got problems with their brain, who just want to, next level their game, who want to, switch themselves on. It's quite incredible. So yeah, that's, there's so many things that did for me, but that's the obvious stuff where it started. And of course, with the mind and the intuition and the, even with the tarot reading and all the, what people call the channeling and the clairvoyant stuff and the synchronicities, a lot of that centers around the basic premise of what we do with the photo reading. So if you would like to join us and save yourself £300 if you're happy to book and to attend spring summer 2020, and you can also book for, it will also apply for the autumn course, which is normally around September October time, but that's a real long way. But if you're happy to do that, then head over to the page which is www.bit.ly/PR flash sale, or I'll put the link in for the direct that one. It's a long one. It's like Marilyn Devonish.thrivecart/photo reading live workshop flash sale. It's quite a mouthful. So I will drop that into the comments as well. And if you happen to be watching this on YouTube, I'll put all of the information in that description thing below. So you just have to press the little arrow and it will open up the description for you. So I'll drop the information in there as well. But for those of you guys who are watching live on Facebook or watching this as a Facebook recording, check the comments thread and you'll see the links if you kind of want to book. And I also just put a blog together explaining the rationale for this fan-dabby-dozy offer. So there you go. So I put the blog in as well. That's marilyndevonish.com/photo reading flash sale. Save 300. Yeah, and I don't know. I'm a little bit. I do like a good deal. That's one of the reasons why I do early booking prices for my workshops, events, etc. Because I do like a good deal. I like good value as well. But yeah, you get. I think really, for your 400 and something pounds, the photo reading workshop plus all of your stuff, I think that's a fabulous deal. What more can I say? That's it. If you want to book, the offer is open for the next 7 days. So today is day one if you're watching this in real time. And the offer for those of you on my e-newsletter list, where you've got the coupon code for an extra 10% off, that's running for this weekend. So if you happen to be booking on Tuesday, let's say, it will just be the price on the Thrive Cart page, which is fantastic anyway. But your 10% off for being an e-newsletter subscriber, that expires this weekend. So thank you all for watching. And if you know anyone who could benefit from attending photo reading, feel free to share this video. Feel free to please send them the link. If you've attended the workshop before, personal recommendation is always fantastic, because yeah, I could sit here and go, oh my God, I think it's amazing. And I do. However, there's a power that comes when somebody's actually attended and they go, oh my God, it was fantastic, and you share your own experience. So feel free to share. If you're sharing on social media, tag me in as well. That would be amazing. But yeah, and if you are joining us next month, really look forward to working with you. So Lisa, I will see you there. And if you're joining us for 2020, it's going to be superb. So I will catch you all later. Thank you so much for watching and liking and sharing. And until next time, bye-bye.